And with that, we greet you with a pleasant good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Yolo High Wheelers Baseball. From Dobbin Stadium here in Davis, California, this is Doug Greenwald coming to you live, as it is the visiting Oakland Ballers and the hometown hometown Yolo High Wheelers. Oakland a record of 29-26 with an overall record. Meanwhile, 2-5 in the second half. Meanwhile, for the Yolo High Wheelers, 28-25 overall and 5-2 in the second stanza. Let's go right to the starting lineups. First for the visiting Oakland Ballers under manager Aaron Miles. Leading off and playing center field, Peyton Harden. Batting second and at shortstop, Josh Leslie. Noah Martinez hits third, and he plays first. Batting cleanup in left field, Dondre Hubbard. Dante Stewart, one of the newcomers to Oakland, hits fifth. He's at second base. Hitting sixth, the designated hitter, Tyler Lozano. Colton Horner, he does the catching and bats seventh. Hitting eighth and in right field, Nick Adgar, and batting ninth and at third base, Brad Burkell, with the left-hander Reed Butts on the mound. Again for Oakland and manager Aaron Miles, it's Harden, Leslie, and Noah Martinez, Hubbard, Stewart, and Lozano, Horner, Adgar, Burkell, and the lefty Butts on the mound. For the Yolo High Wheelers and manager Billy Horton, it'll be Braylon Marine leading off at shortstop. Batting second, playing second, Bobby Leday. The third place hitter is the right fielder, Jose Gonzalez. The designated hitter, Alejandro Figueroa, bats cleanup. Eddie Neiman is the first baseman, and he is slotted fifth. Braden Blackford gets a start in left field, bats sixth. The newcomer in his professional debut, about to make it, is the catcher Edwin De La Cruz. He bats seventh. Hitting eighth in center field, Tanner Smith, and batting ninth and at third base is Kirkland Banks. And on the mound for the Yolo High Wheelers is the left-hander Brandon Mitchell. Again for Yolo and manager Billy Horton, it's Marine, Leday, and Gonzalez, Figueredo, Neiman, and Blackford, De La Cruz, Smith, Banks, and the lefty Mitchell on the mound. The starting lineups here this afternoon. So some news involving the High Wheelers. Kyle Guerra, no longer a High Wheeler. He was sent across the diamond. The outfielder traded to Oakland earlier today. So we could see Guerra certainly today or this rest of the next few days playing against Yolo. Infielder Alex Epp was released, and Yolo added two new players who are active tonight, or today for that matter. Infielder Travis Holt and outfielder David Glancy. Again, those two are active for today, the infielder Holt and the outfielder Glancy active for today, and we'll talk more about them if the need arises. All right, here we go from Davis, California, as Brandon Mitchell is out of the lineup, and the left-hander's first pitch of the ball game to Peyton Harden is taken outside, ball one. 1 ball and no strikes, and we are underway this afternoon at 4:33. Much cooler today. It's only 103 degrees at first pitch. Yesterday was 106, so a cold front right now, 103. First pitch here at Dobbin Stadium. The 1-0 to Harden is swung on a miss. Strike one, and the count's a 1 ball and 1 strike to the game's first batter in Peyton Harden. Average for Harden is at .348, 2 homers, 23 RBIs, and he swings and just keeps right on hitting. Ground ball up the middle and through into center field, a base hit for Harden. So when you combine the series last week into now what is now a new series, as new as of yesterday, 15 hits for Harden. So Harden, just like that, the runner at first, 16 steals. He's been caught 4 times. So the new, I say new, not new on the team, but Tanner Smith in center field today getting the start. Gets the ball in towards second. Mentioned Tanner Smith in center field. That's his first start in center field this year. Might even be his first appearance overall, but certainly his first start in center. Now it's Josh Leslie who bats, and Mitchell delivers, and Leslie takes low and in, ball one, a ball, no strikes. As a member of the Ballers, Leslie bats at .283. He has 3 homers, and he has 10 runs batted in. Facing the left-hander, Brandon Mitchell, 3 wins, 1 loss. ERA's at 7.13. 1 ball, no strike. Pitch will have to wait. Throw to first. Neiman there to take it. Back standing up is Harden. Well, Mitchell back-to-back starts against Oakland. Got a no decision in his last start. That was last Thursday. That was the crazy 10-10 game through 9 innings. as the 1-0 pitch up and away, ball 2. So 2 balls and no strikes. That was the game where Yolo scored 5 runs in the bottom of the 9th to tie, and then it went to the knockout round, and Yolo ended up winning the knockout round / winning the game. No score here, just underway. Harden leads at first. Neiman holds him on, and the pitch. And that's up and in, ball 3 from Mitchell. 3 balls, no strikes. Mitchell, 6'2", 215 pounds, grew up in Houston. He's 24 years old, first-year pro out of the University of New Orleans. 3 balls, no strikes. And the pitch to Leslie, and that hits the outer half of the plate, strike 1, 3-1. So Mitchell in that game against Oakland last week gave up 10 hits over 4 innings. 6 runs all earned. He walked 2 and struck out 1. Outfield medium depth straightaway. 3 balls and a strike. And the pitch on the way to Leslie, and that is outside, ball 4. Now, the High Wheelers are going to challenge that. And it's been overturned to a strike. So, it's been overturned to strike 2. Obviously, Harden, who had taken off for second. They didn't really take off for second, not like he was stealing the base, but just forced to move up on what would have been the walk. Is obviously allowed to retreat to first without any sort of penalty right there. It's not like he's allowed to be hung up between first and second. Umpire just said go ahead and go back to first. So Leslie, who had gone all the way to first, now comes back to the plate. Today's home plate umpire is Dean Poteet. The crew chief, Ricardo Rodriguez, is the umpire at first base. And around at third is umpire Grant Myers. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Harden goes, and Leslie swings and fouls one to the backstop, 3-2. Umpires are assigned by Ron Adams, who is the California-based Pioneer League umpire assigner. In other words, Ron assigns the umpires for the games that are either in Davis or in Oakland. So 3 balls and 2 strikes the count with nobody out. No score, top of the first, Yolo in Oakland. Harden took off a moment ago. I'm going to guess he's going to go again. He does, the 3-2. And Leslie a pop-up foul right side. 3 balls, 2 strikes. A couple of guys who would have more than likely faced each other in college. Mitchell at University of New Orleans and Leslie at McNeese State. In fact, Harden and Leslie, both teammates at McNeese State, so they both more than they said likely would have faced Mitchell in the Southland Conference. Middle infield looking to turn 2. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Again, Harden goes, and Leslie swings and chops this ball to shortstop. Grabbed by Marine on the run. He has 1 play, and that's to Neiman at first. So Harden moves up to second base, and Leslie is the first out this afternoon. 1 down. And now Noah Martinez will come to the plate. Noah bats at .318. He has 9 home runs, and he has 34 RBIs. I mentioned Mitchell, a no decision in his last start. This year, specifically in games against Oakland, Mitchell is 1-1. His ERA against the Ballers is at 8.38. Does have 14 strikeouts against them. As the pitch on the way to Martinez is inside, ball 1. And the count's at 1 ball and no strikes to Martinez. No score, top of the first inning. Yolo and Oakland meeting for the 79th time this year. The 1-0 pitch, and that is inside, ball 2, 2-0. All right, only meeting for the 26th time this year. Seems like 79 times. Oakland leads the season series 13-12. Last week, Yolo took 4 out of 6. Yesterday, Yolo won the first game of this current series. Outfield well around to the left. And now Harden dances off second, slipped for a moment, and a balk has been called on Mitchell. The first base umpire, Ricardo Rodriguez, standing out near second base, called the balk on Mitchell. I'm not sure what Mitchell did, unless he looked like he was coming home, but instead, Harden, and no argument from anybody, so Harden goes to third on the balk. So runner at third and 1 out, infield back, on the pitch, and that's outside, ball 3. And the count moves now to 3 balls and no strikes on Martinez. So 3 balls and no strikes, the count. Martinez did not have a hit off Mitchell the last time they faced each other, and he takes outside ball 4. Pitch well up and away. So Martinez down to first base. It's first and third now, and here is the left fielder and Dondre Hubbard. So a couple of names I did not call in the Oakland lineup, guys I'm normally used to calling. Trevor Halsema, Austin Davis, as I said, regulars for them. They are on the inactive list, and that could mean anything. Perhaps a trade is in the works for each of them. Could be going on the injured list, but they're on the inactive list. Now it's Hubbard who takes up and away ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. Now Hubbard, when he faced Mitchell last week, he was 3 for 3 against Mitchell, had 3 singles against him, and then overall in the game he had 4 hits. Middle infield looking to turn 2, the 1-0 on the way, and Hubbard swings and fouls into the backstop. 1 ball, 1 strike with the game no score, top of the first inning, Yolo in Oakland. So, you look at Halsema, it's a lot of RBIs out of the lineup. That's a team-high 50 runs batted in that are not in the lineup to go along with 9 homers and a .332 average. The 1-1 here, check swing, foul to the backstop, 1-2. Austin Davis, as I mentioned, not on the active roster. You lose somebody there who is hitting .315 with 9 homers and 39 RBIs. So it's close to 90 RBIs that are out of the Oakland lineup. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. No score, top of the first. Harden's at third, Martinez at first. And the 1-2 when Hubbard takes just outside from Mitchell, ball 2. So it counts now 2 balls and 2 strikes from Brandon Mitchell to Dondre Hubbard with the game 0-0. Here in what has been a rather laborious top half of the first inning. Mitchell, a 2-seam fastball, a slider, and a changeup. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and the pitch, and that's blown away, ball 3. So 3 balls and 2 strikes now to Dondre Hubbard. He comes into today at .312. He has a team-high 11 homers, and he has 46 RBIs. Middle infield looking to turn 2. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Harden's at third, Martinez at first. Martinez goes, and Hubbard swings, and he pops it up foul right side. And the count holds at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Doug Greenwald with you on YouTube Live and on Flow Sports. I want to say hello to our producer, Michael Sapel, for helping put this one together this afternoon. You know, instead of the group men at work, he's man at work. For the native of Australia, and Michael Sapel. Now they throw to first. Martinez takes off for second, and the throw is dropped by Neiman. And it'll be a stolen base for Martinez, just a straight steal. Because Martinez took off on the pitch, so since he was off and running on the pitch, he gets benefit of the doubt of stealing second. So even though Neiman dropped the ball, Martinez, his intent was to steal. So he gets credit for a stolen base. There's no error there. So now it's second and third, 3 ball, 2 strike pitch, and Hubbard swings on a pop-up foul right side. No score, top of the first. That's the rule, because let's flip it over. Let's say that Neiman came up with the ball and made a crisp throw to second. It would have been a caught stealing. So if it would have been a caught stealing, and it's not, then it's a stolen base. So there's no error. So 3 balls, 2 strikes. Stolen base for Nick Martinez is his second this year in 4 tries. 3-2. And the pitch with the infield back, up and away, ball 4. So that loads him up here in the first inning. No score. And now a big moment in his first ever professional start for Dante Stewart, who comes to the plate. And the pitching coach, Jerome Williams, out to settle down Mitchell a little bit. So Dante Stewart comes up, joined the club yesterday. His first professional at bat was a pinch hitting appearance, and he got a single. So Dante Stewart, as I said, comes up here with a chance to do some first inning damage. No score, top half of the first inning for Dante Stewart, capital D-A-U NTE. And Dante Stewart, 23 years old. He grew up outside of Houston, grew up in the Woodlands, Texas, and played his undergraduate baseball 4 years at Northwestern State. I know I mentioned this a little bit yesterday, but worth mentioning again. Played for the Demons of Northwestern State. So bases loaded, middle infield again looking to turn two, and Stewart takes outside ball 1-0, and then Stewart played his graduate year this season, this past college season, with the University of Memphis. So 1 ball and no strikes to count to Stewart. So Harden's at third, Noah Martinez at second, Hubbard at first, and Mitchell in trouble, the 1-0. And that's outside 2-0. And these two, I'd really have to think, would have seen each other in college in the Southland, with Mitchell at New Orleans and Stewart at Northwestern State. Obviously, both schools, well, New Orleans, obviously, as you know, located in Louisiana. Northwestern State is as well. The 2-0. Low inside, and the ball gets past the catcher, De La Cruz, and on the wild pitch, Harden will come in to score to make it 1-0 Oakland. Noah Martinez up to second, or up to third, and Hubbard up to second base. So that pitch in the dirt. So Mitchell, as I said, having a rather laborious first inning. He's given up a single, 2 walks, a balk, so far a run. And the count to the newcomer Stewart is at 3 balls and no strikes, with Tyler Lozano on deck. So 3-0 the count. And the pitch. And that is outside ball 4. 3 straight walks allowed by Mitchell. And again, cannot see if anybody is warming up. Again, both bullpens are out of our view. And now it's Tyler Lozano with the bags full. So that reloads the bases. So now Lozano digs in at 234. He has 3 home runs, and he has 19 RBIs. So Noah Martinez is at third, Hubbard's at second, and Stewart's at first. And if there's any time that Mitchell would like a double play ball, it's right now. And the pitch to Lozano, and that's a strike called on the inside corner. So no balls and 1 strike to count. Oakland had a 2-run first inning here the other day. No balls and a strike to count. And the pitch, and Lozano is swinging a foul to the backstop, strike 2. And the count's now at no balls and 2 strikes. So 0-2 the count. So as I said, 1-run home right now for the Ballers. The 0-2, and Lozano swings, and he pops this one up foul right side against Mitchell. And the count holds at no balls and 2 strikes to Lozano, with Colton Horner wetting on deck. Mitchell, I talked about his last start here against Oakland. His start before that was a complete game win against Rocky Mountain. The 0-2, and Lozano swings and misses strike 3. Foul tipped in the glove of the catcher, De La Cruz. So Lozano goes fishing there and comes up empty. And that's the first strikeout for Mitchell. Well, not done yet this inning, and now it's Colton Horner who bats. At 225, he has 2 home runs, and he has 14 runs batted in. So Martinez still at third, Hubbard at second, and Stewart at first. And the pitch on the way to Horner. Swing and a miss to the breaking ball, strike 1. So no balls and 1 strike to count. Now, Oakland, when they faced Mitchell last time on July 18th, had a 2-run first against him. They have a run in right now in the 0-1 to Horner, and that's outside ball 1. And the count's at 1 ball and 1 strike to Colton Horner. So again, a 225 mark coming into this afternoon. So Harden's at third. Noah Martinez at third, Hubbard at second, Stewart at first. Harden's already scored. And the 1-1, and Horner takes, and that is low ball 2. 2 balls and a strike. And I'll tell you, Mitchell could really work a Houdini act right now if he could get out of trouble with only 1 run scoring. Outfield shallow straightaway. The kick on the 2-1, and that's down the middle, strike 2. And the count's now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. With Nick Angar on deck. So 1 run in for the Ballers. Top half of the first. Mitchell, again in this long top half of the first, works from the set to 2-2, and Horner is swinging a foul to the backstop. 2 balls and 2 strikes. There's 31 pitches in this inning for Mitchell. So 2-2 the count. Doug Greenwald with you on YouTube Live and on Flow Sports. Infield back, 2 balls, 2 strikes, and the pitch. And Horner swings, and he flies one into right field. Gonzalez to his right is there. He makes the catch, and unbelievably, Brandon Mitchell in this first inning only gives up 1 run, and what was around roughly a 35-pitch inning. So 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and Oakland leaves the bases loaded after half an inning. Oakland 1, Yolo coming up on YouTube Live and on Flow Sports. We move to the bottom half of the first inning. It is shockingly 1-0 Oakland, and they say that Brandon Mitchell, not the cleanest first inning, but got out of it only allowing 1 run. So he's got to feel pretty good. Braylon Marine leads it off, and Reed Butts, the starter for Oakland, pours in a strike on the outside corner. And the count is at no balls and 1 strike. So Marine in the leadoff spot today. Then it's Lede and Gonzalez as Braylon takes low ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. For Reed Butts, start number 6, appearance number 19, still without a decision this year. ERA at 6.75 as Marine swings, line drive, center field, base hit. So Braylon Marine opens the bottom of the first inning with a single. It's 1-0 Oakland. Marine coming in at team high 387 mark with 7 homers and 48 runs batted in. So I mentioned Marine leading off. Braylon Skinner, just a day off for him. And Skinner obviously could use a day off. I say obviously, I mean he's a guy that's in there every single day. Pretty much been the everyday leadoff guy this year for Yolo. And Skinner scuffling a little bit of late. Skinner 1 hit in his last 15 at bats. So probably not a bad time just to give Skinner a day. So that's why Marine's leading off. Now it's Bobby Lede, and he swings and fouls into the screen, strike 1. 0-1 the count. Average is down to 340 for Lede, 9 homers. And he has a team high 51 runs batted in. Lede hitless in his last 10 at bats. You have Lede scuffling a little bit. You have Skinner scuffling a little bit. The 0-1 pitch, and Lede swings and drives one foul right side. No balls and 2 strikes. And let's face it, it's a long season. Things like that are Well, it's baseball. I mean, plain and simple. I mean, it's a long season for everybody. I'm not here making excuses, but just saying it's just part of the game. No matter how hot you've been going, remember, the best hitters fail 7 out of 10 times. 0-2 the count. There goes Marine. The pitch taken outside through to second base, and Marine is out by a mile, out with a dive. The catcher Horner to the second baseman Stewart. So 2-4 on the caught stealing, and Braylon Marine caught for the 4th time this year in 19 steal attempts. So he has erased. The count is at 1-2 strikes. It is 1-0 Oakland. And now Leday all by himself up there with nobody on base and 1 out. 1-2 strikes. The kick and the pitch, and Leday fists one back of the plate, foul. 1-2 strikes from Butts, 6'2", 190 pounds, 25 years old, originally from Rockford, Illinois. Again, a guy that we have seen this year is both a starter and a reliever. So 1-2 strikes. Martinez well off the bag at first base. The kick and the 1-2. And Leday swings and misses. Fastball in the outer half of the plate, strike 3, and he is out. First strikeout for Butts, 2 down. Bottom of the first inning, it is 1-0 in favor of the Oakland Ballers. And now the right fielder, Jose Gonzalez, comes up. .369. He has a team-high 10 homers, and he has 46 runs batted in. So Butts, long, curly black hair sticking out of the back of his green cap, delivers, and Gonzalez takes outside for a ball, 1-0. Oakland, the button-down green shirts, Ballers in big gold letters spelled across the front of the shirt, gray pants, green caps. Yolo, the home white uniforms, is the 1-0 to Gonzalez, and that's a strike on the inside corner, 1-1. White shirts, white pants, high wheelers spelled across the front in gold. Gold number on both sides of the shirt. Black cap, gold bill, the high wheeler bicycle on the front of the cap, the 1-1 to Gonzalez, and that's low ball 2. And Oakland's going to challenge that. And it's been overturned to a strike. So, instead of it being 2-1, the count's now at 1-2 strikes to Jose Gonzalez. Huge hole in right center field. 1-2 strikes. It is 1-0 in favor of Oakland. Bottom of the first inning. Butts deliberate three-quarter windup in the pitch, and Gonzalez swings and misses. Fastball down and in, strike 3. And he is out. Second strikeout for Butts. A hit, nobody left after 1. It's 1-0 Oakland leading Yolo on YouTube Live and on Flow Sports. Moving along to the second inning, it is 1-0 in favor of the Oakland Ballers. And Brandon Mitchell to face Nick Andgar, who leads it off, and he does Andgar a strike on the outside corner. No balls and one strike. It'll be Andgar, Burkell, and then the top of the Oakland order for the center fielder and Peyton Harden. It is 1-0. The Ballers lead it. The next pitch is outside, ball one to Andgar, and the count's at 1 ball and 1 strike. Andgar, who normally we see off the bench. 1 ball, 1 strike pitch, and Andgar grounds this one right near the third base bag. It's gobbled up by Banks, and he'll throw across the Neiman at first. And Andgar is out, so 1 up and 1 down. We're on the top of the second inning. The score is 1-0 in favor of Oakland. And now Brad Burkell comes up. Andgar coming in 0 for his first 7 with Oakland, so now 0 for his first 8 as a baller. Now it's Burkell who bats at .217, 7 home runs. He has 30 RBIs. 1-0 Oakland. Brandon Mitchell winds and the pitch. And a breaking ball drops in nicely for a strike on the outside corner. So the count is a no balls and 1 strike. Third baseman Banks even with the bag and off the line. Outfield medium depth straightaway. The windup in the 0-1 pitch. And that is swung on and missed. Strike 2. And the count's at no balls and 2 strikes. 0-2 the count to Burkell. Again, these two probably familiar with one another from the Southland. The 0-2 pitch inside, ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. I mean, these two probably familiar with one another this year. All the meetings these two teams have had, let alone from their college days, with Mitchell from University of New Orleans and Burkell from McNeese State. The 1-2, swing and a roller foul up along first. And the count remains at 1 ball and 2 strikes to Burkell. Burkell 0 for 3 yesterday, struck out all 3 times. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the pitch, and Burkell swings and lines one to center field, but Smith hardly has to move for it, and Tanner Smith is there to make the catch. So 2 out, top of the second inning. A run, a hit, and no errors for Oakland. No runs, 1 hit, no errors for Yolo. And now for the second time in as many innings, Oakland will go to the top of its order for the shortstop. We'll go to the top of its order. The center fielder, Peyton Harden. Singled and scored in the first. And the pitch from Mitchell to Harden is a strike on the inside corner, 0-1. I mean, look at this lineup. Mitchell probably faced Harden, Leslie, Stewart, and Burkell all in college. As the pitch bunted foul up along third, strike 2-2. I mean, this is pretty much an all Southland Conference lineup for Oakland. They have 4 players in their lineup, 3 from McNeese State, Harden, Burkell, and Leslie, and then 1 from Northwestern State and Stewart, all from the Southland. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. It is 1-0 in favor of the Oakland Ballers, top of the second. Could probably call a few people in the Southland Conference for scouting reports on all these guys. Broadcasting friends of mine down in Louisiana. The windup in the 0-2. And that swung on, line center field. Harden has another hit. That's his 16th hit now against Yolo in the last week and change. So 2 out singles. The center fielder Smith gets the ball in towards second. 1-0 Oakland, top of the second inning. And now Josh Leslie will come up to face Brandon Mitchell. You know, I was mentioning earlier about Mitchell and that complete game he had, and I never did finish my sentence about that, and I'm sure a lot of you are thinking, wow, cool, you pitch complete game. That's not something you see anymore. Well, you don't see a 5-inning complete game, and that's what Mitchell did on July 12th. That was the 9-4 win Yolo had when the Rocky Mountain team walked off the field after 5 innings because of heat. And Mitchell delivers here, and that's in the dirt, ball 1. And the count moves to 1 ball and no strikes with a 1-0 advantage for Oakland. Top of the second. I mean, Mitchell did pitch the complete game. I mean, he was going to come out if we had had a 6th inning. J.C. Ariza was already coming in from the bullpen, and then Rocky Mountain ended up walking off the field and conceded the win to the High Wheelers. So because there was no further action, Mitchell was, well, given a complete game. I mean, that is a complete game. All the stats counted. Official game. The 1-0 pitch to Leslie. Chopped toward short to his left. Marine. He'll just take the ball to the second base bag for the 6 unassisted force on Harden. So Leslie, the Oakland shortstop, has twice hit the ball to Marine, the Yolo shortstop. 1 hit, 1 left. Inning and a half gone by. It's 1-0 Oakland leading Yolo on YouTube Live and on Flow Sports. Moving along to the bottom half of inning number 2 here this afternoon. The score is 1-0 Oakland leading Yolo. Doug Greenwald with you on YouTube Live and on Flow Sports. So Alejandro Figueiredo leads it off against Reed Butts, who is out of the windup, and the pitch to Alejandro is low ball 1. And that moves it to 1 ball and no strikes. Figueiredo, Neiman, and Blackford 4, 5, 6. Alejandro in 18 Yolo games, 385 with a homer, 7 RBIs. The 1-0 pitch driven foul toward the screen right side. And that moves the count to 1 ball and 1 strike. Figueiredo in yesterday's game 1 for 4 with a single. He's hit safely in his last 8 games. 1 ball, 1 strike. As Butts peering in at the catcher Horner, ready to go. Deliberate 3-quarter windup with a 1-1. And that misses high ball 2. And the count's now at 2 balls and 1 strike. So 2-1 the count. Figueiredo, the longest current hitting streak for the High Wheelers. The kick on the 2-1, and that's tapped toward third. Charged and gloved by Burkell, and the third baseman's throw on the run from the grass to Noah Martinez at first retires Figueiredo. And that's the first out in the bottom of the second inning. It is 1-0 Oakland. And here is the first baseman in Eddie Neiman. Neiman been in 11 games with Yolo, 10 as a starter. That's coming into today, so today's his 11th start. 385, 2 homers, 9 RBIs, and Neiman has a streak going, which I'll tell you about in a moment. As the pitch to Eddie, and that's a strike on the outside corner. No balls and a strike. Neiman, I don't mean just his 4-game hitting streak, if you can really call that a hitting streak, but he has reached base safely in all 11 games he has played with the High Wheelers. The 0-1 pitch, and that's inside ball 1. And the count's at 1 ball and 1 strike. Now Neiman in the series last week between these teams, again that's really a separate series, Neiman had 5 hits, all singles. Did not play yesterday, the 1-1. And he swings and a tapper on the grass, third base side off the hill, butts up with it, and he'll throw over to the first baseman, Noah Martinez. And Neiman is out. Nice play there by the pitcher. And Butts to get off the mound quickly. Knew he had some time with Neiman, who's not the fastest guy out there. 2 down, and now here's Braden Blackford for the first time. 350, 9 homers, and Braden has 37 RBIs. It is 1-0 Yolo. I'm sorry, 1-0 Oakland. Bottom of the second inning. Blackford 2 for 4 yesterday, 6 hits over his last 4 games. And the pitch to Braden, and that is high ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Mentioned Blackford with 9 home runs this year. 6 of them are against Oakland, including his first pro grand slam, which was here on June 21st against the Ballers. The 1-0 on the way, and that's a strike called on the inside corner. And the count's at 1 ball and 1 strike. And Blackford on this homestand, which has pretty much been all this month, hitting .408. The 1-1 pitch, and Braden is swinging and missing a breaking ball, 1-2. 1-0 Oakland leads Yolo. Bottom of the second. Blackford on the homestand, 20 for 49. So .408 clip over these, let's see here, 7 against Rocky Mountain, 6 against Oakland. With the first 14 games on the homestand, he's got 20 hits. Part of that, 2 homers and 7 RBIs. The 1-2 here popped up foul left side. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Blackford. Mentioned, and we've talked about this a little bit during the homestand, that he has been an instigator. In other words, he's been able to start a lot of run-producing rallies. Now, and I say start, meaning literally leading off an inning is what I'm referencing. I don't mean starting a rally with 2 out. Literally leading off an inning. The 1-2 pitch, and that strike 3 called on the outside corner. And Blackford down on strikes and flips his bat sarcastically and not happy with the call by plate umpire Dean Boteet. So Blackford is the 3rd strikeout victim of Butts. And that concludes the second inning as the High Wheelers go 1-2-3. We move to the 3rd. It is 1-0 Oakland leading Yolo on YouTube Live and on Flow Sports. On we go to the 3rd inning. It is 1-0. The Oakland Ballers out in front. Noah Martinez leads it off, and Brandon Mitchell's first pitch is taken for a strike on the outside corner. And the count moves, no balls and 1 strike. It's Noah Martinez, Hubbard, and Stewart, 3-4-5. As Mitchell kicks and the pitch and a breaking ball, and that's taken for a strike on the outside corner. So no balls and 2 strikes to Noah Martinez, who walked in the first inning. Outfield around to the left in the 0-2. Swing tapper foul first base way. So no balls and 2 strikes to count. Here at Dobbins Stadium, which seats 3,500, built back in 1986. Right here on the UC Davis campus. No balls and 2 strikes. Mitchell winds and the pitch, and Mitchell takes high ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. 310 down the lines. 385 the gaps. 410 to straightaway center. They'll wind up in the 1-2, and that's, ouch, that hit the umpire. That nailed the home plate umpire, Dean Poteet, and he is down, and let's hope he's all right. I'm not sure where that got him, but Poteet is on his right hip, on his right side, back of home plate. Trainers from each side out to check on him. I don't know if, I don't want to speculate where that got him, but that got him. I mean, he went right down. You know, Dean's a tough guy. I mean, Dean's a former linebacker at LSU. And I don't know. As I said, well, first of all, I hope it didn't get him where you really don't want to get hit. Let's hope that's not the case. But regardless, he's down. I mean, it hit him somewhere. Not that you want to get hit a lot of places. I realize that, folks. But I mean, rarely have I seen an umpire go right down and stay down. I mean, he's moving his right leg right now, and I mean, he immediately went down. And both managers, training staff, both sides out to check on Dean Poteet. Now laying on his back. It's like a bottle of water's been taken out for him, but yeah, I mean, pitch obviously was inside to Martinez, and then Poteet went right down. The Oakland trainer, Bruce Valentine, out checking on him, and Yolo also has a member of its medical staff on him, and Poteet now is sitting up. He's not standing up, but he's now at least sitting up. Yeah, so as I said, I don't know if that hit his arm, but he is sipping on some water. Was it the other, like last week, Tyler Lozano, the Oakland catcher, got hit where you don't want to get hit. And I know that because the next day I talked to the Oakland trainer, Bruce Valentine, and I said, did Lozano get hit where you don't want to get hit? And he says, yeah, he did. I said, I had a whole lot of fun, and I asked Bruce, I said, you know, what can a trainer do in a situation like that? He said, not a whole lot. He said that there are certain exercises you can do, drink a lot of water. Now, again, I don't know where Dean Poteet got hit. I couldn't tell, but he is now being helped up. He is now standing up. Like I said, Dean's a pretty big guy. Played football at LSU back in the mid-1970s. Dean told me the story. He's originally from Louisiana. He's from Hammond, Louisiana, about halfway between New Orleans and Baton Rouge. And then when he was in the late 1970s playing in the East-West Shrine game, the former all-star game at the end of the college football season they used to have at Stanford every year. Poteet was representing LSU in that game. And I know I've mentioned the story before, but it's been a while. And Dean said to me when he was warming up for that game, he saw some pretty cheerleader representing the University of California. He interrupted his warm-ups, went over and introduced himself to her, and before he knew it, I guess within a year or so, they were married, and Dean made his residence out here in Northern California up near Santa Rosa. So, anyway, let's, as I said, hope that, see if Dean stays in there. He's putting on his hat again. But, yeah, he went right down and was down for a while. And I said both coaching staffs are out there checking on him. He's put his mask back on. Fortunately, we don't have access to a replay, so I couldn't really see where, as they say, where Dean got hit. We do have our monitor on Flow Sports. We don't have access to I don't believe we have access to a replay on that. Meanwhile, Mitchell's being allowed to take some warm-up tosses. I was talking earlier about Braden Blackford and how he's doing on the homestand. And I forgot that the homestand actually started before Rocky Mountain came here. Oakland was here, of course, July 3rd through the 5th. And you know what? I forgot to add those games to this homestand for Blackford. So really those numbers for Blackford, it wasn't this homestand. It was from the start of the Rocky Mountain series through last night's game. Just want to clean that up for you. All right, well, Dean Poteet is back at it behind the plate. Good to see Dean, who appears to be okay. Meanwhile, the count to Noah Martinez is at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And nobody out, and now Mitchell out of the windup and the pitch, and Noah takes outside ball 3. So the count at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Outfield well around to the left. Big hole in right center in the 3-2. And a swing and a miss, strike 3. And Noah Martinez is out. That's a second strikeout for Brandon Mitchell. So 1 out. Top of the 3rd inning. It is 1-0 in favor of the Oakland Ballers. So now Dondre Hubbard will come up. I will try between innings to get a report on where that nailed Dean. So now Hubbard bats. Again, a walk in the 1st inning. A 1st inning in which Mitchell was very lucky to escape only allowing a run. That's the difference right now. It's 1-0 Oakland, top of the 3rd, and Dondre Hubbard takes outside ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Talked to Dondre last night in the hotel lobby. The windup in the 1-0, and Hubbard takes, and that's outside ball 2, 2-0. I want to know why us radio guy, and he said this in the nicest of ways, it was just a simple question, how he spit out all these facts. He was interested in that, and I certainly appreciated that question. The 2-0, and Hubbard a big swing, and he pops this one up foul first base side. It counts at 2 balls and 1 strike to Dondre Hubbard with a 1-0 Oakland lead. And you know what? I said to him, Dondre, here's the reason why us broadcasters have all these facts. People like you, people like the players who trust us with information, that give us stuff that we can't find on a stat sheet. You guys are really the story. The windup in the 2-1, and that's outside ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike. It is 1-0 Oakland leading Yolo. Top of the 3rd inning with Dante Stewart on deck. So 3 balls and a strike, and the pitch. And Hubbard swings at a tapper. It's going to be a tough play toward 3rd, and no chance for the 3rd baseman Banks to grab that ball. It's an infield single. So Dondre Hubbard has hit number 3 for the Oakland Ballers. It is 1-0 in favor of Oakland, top of the 3rd inning. And now Dante Stewart will come up. But yeah, I mean, Dante Hubbard and I talked about it. I said, Dondre, you know, you and all the guys, I mean, regardless of what team, I mean, trust us and give us a lot of good information. I mean, anybody can look at a media guide. Anybody can look on a stat sheet. I mean, that tells some of the story. So now it's Stewart, and he flies this one toward right center field. Pretty well struck, and that's going to get down for a base hit. The right fielder, Gonzalez, plays it near the warning track. Hubbard will get as far as 3rd as the throw will come in from the second baseman, Leday. The right fielder, Gonzalez, to the second baseman, Leday, to the catcher, De La Cruz. And Dante Stewart has a double to right. And it's 2nd and 3rd and 1 out with the Ballers leading the High Wheelers 1-0. Top of the 3rd inning. And now the designated hitter. And Tyler Lozano digs in. Well, you know the old expression. I mean, you know, hey, the team, boy, they really look good on paper, folks. Boy, that's good. You know, boy, that's a good roster. A lot of height. A lot of depth. A lot of talent. You know, it looks good on paper. Sort of like saying the same thing when you talk about a player. Well, yeah, it looks good. The stats look good. He's got an interesting bio. Now it's Lozano, and he takes low and in ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. It is 1-0 Oakland, but a chance for more top of the 3rd. But talking to the player, I mean, obviously you're going to know he's going to know himself better than anybody, and I can say, yeah, you know, tell me about what it was like growing up in Houston or wherever you went to college. Talk about what that coach was like. 1 ball, no strike pitch, and that's low 2-0. That's something the media guide can't do. And that's where as I've always said, the players really unlock the door right there and give us material with which to use. And I told Andre, I said, well, you want to know why we have all these facts? It's because of you. you and other guys are fun to whom to speak and get to know you in a way that the general public, I'd say the general public, I guess we're all part of the public, but the public doesn't get to know. The 2-0 pitch, and that's outside, and a snap throw to third, and the ball goes down the left field line. In from third is Hubbard. Going to third is Stewart. As the left fielder, Blackford, has to pick the ball up near the line. That's an error on the catcher, De La Cruz. Now, De La Cruz, remember, this is his first pro game, and, you know, everybody on the team knew to De La Cruz or vice versa, and obviously not a good throw. No chance for the third baseman, Banks, to get that one. 2-0 Oakland. So De La Cruz charged with an error. Now the infield in, and the 3-0 to Lozano is a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. So an E2 to the catcher, De La Cruz. So the infield in now. 3 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Infield was not in prior, but it's in now. The 3-1, and Lozano takes very high, ball 4. So Lozano draws a walk. And now it's first and third, and now the middle infield will move back a little bit for the catcher, Colton Horner. So Mitchell obviously hoping here for a ground ball at one of his infielders. So Stewart's at third, Lozano's at first. Turn throw to first, and back safely standing up is Lozano. On the season, Lozano, in terms of stolen bases, is 5 for 5. So he's being held on by Neiman. And Mitchell from the belt kicks and comes home, and Horner swings, and a chopper toward third to his left. Banks goes to Ledet at second for 1, and on to first. Neiman there to pick it, double play. Nice pick at third by Banks. That was more than just a regular chopper. He had to go to his left, and they get the around the horn double play. So once again, even though it's now 2-0 Oakland, Mitchell was able to get out of what could have been further damage. So third, second, first. Banks, Ledet, Neiman 5-4-3. 1 run, 2 hits, 1 error, and a man left. We move to the bottom of the third inning. It is 2-0 in favor of the Oakland Ballers over the Yolo High Wheelers on YouTube Live and on Flow Sports. Moving to the bottom of the third inning, it is 2-0. The Oakland Ballers out in front. 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors for Oakland. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 error for Yolo. And now the first professional plate appearance for Yolo catcher Edwin De La Cruz. And Reed Butt's first pitch is taken for a strike, 0-1. It's De La Cruz, Smith, and Banks. Bottom third of the order to face Reed Butts. 2-0 Oakland, and the pitch to De La Cruz is inside for a ball, 1-1. Now, what do we know about De La Cruz? Well, he grew up in New York City, grew up in Queens, from the Ridgewood section of Queens, and New York City. 1 ball and 1 strike. The windup and the pitch, and De La Cruz lines one foul right side, 1-2. But he played his college baseball at the University of Arkansas Pine Bluff. Played for the Golden Lions, members of the Southwestern Athletic Conference, better known as the SWAC. The windup in the 1-2, and that's outside, ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes, and last season, meaning this past March, or past college season, March, April, May, so forth, led the SWAC in batting average, hit .409. And he swings and he drives one toward right center field, and he finds the gap, and this ball's going to roll for a while. De La Cruz on his way to second, and in his first professional at bat, he has a double as the center fielder Harden gets the ball in toward second. So Edwin De La Cruz, a double to right center field, and they'll throw that ball out of play for him. So De La Cruz, mentioned .409 average to lead the SWAC, with 2 homers, 35 RBIs, and was the SWAC hitter of the year and a first-team all-conference player for the Golden Lions of UAPB. So Edwin De La Cruz, who spent 4 years at Arkansas Pine Bluff, has himself a double and a good start for the High Wheelers. Now it's Tanner Smith, and he pushes a bunt out in front of the mound, and Butts looked at third. They'll only have one play. That's a sacrifice bunt that goes 1-3. Boy, that ball was bunt. I'm thinking there's no way De La Cruz is going to get to third, and I think Burkell was also expecting a bunt, the third baseman, and Butts looked at third and didn't see Burkell near the bags, and said, well, I better get the sure out. So De La Cruz goes to third. As I said, it does go as a sacrifice bunt. So runner at third and 1 out. It is 2-0 Oakland, bottom of the third. Tanner Smith coming in at .280 with 3 homers and 24 runs batted in. So now Kirkland Banks comes up to face Reed Butts. 2-0 Ballers. And Butts delivers from the set, and Banks takes in the dirt, ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. Banks at an even .300. He has 7 home runs, and he has 28 runs batted in. De La Cruz at third base. And I know it's only the third inning, but Oakland is up 2-0, so Yolo really needs to cash in right here. Again, the Ballers are saying, go ahead, we'll give you a run. As Banks swings and loops one into right field, a base hit. De La Cruz scores and give Banks an RBI single to right. And the lead is cut in half now, 2-1 Oakland, as the right fielder Adgar gets the ball in towards second. So Kirkland Banks, RBI number 29. So all set up by the De La Cruz double, the Smith sack bunt, and now the RBI hit by Banks. That's his 8th hit against Oakland over the course of the last 2 series against the Ballers. Now it's Marine, top of the Yolo order for the second time for the shortstop Braylon Marine. He's 1 for 1 with a single. And the pitch on the way to Braylon, and that's taken for a strike on the inside corner. And the count's at no balls and 1 strike. Well, I got an update. I went down between innings and talked to Dean Poteet, the plate umpire, who was in some pain in the top of this inning and obviously had to be attended to by both training staffs. And again, from where we are on the concourse, in the press box, generally when a catcher or umpire goes down, you think it got him where you don't want to get hit. But that was not the case with Poteet. The 0-1 is high, ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, so I went right to the source, and I said to Dean, where to get you? Well, first of all, I said to him, Dean, I hope you're okay and doing well. Let me make that clear. And then I asked, I said, where did it get you? Told me the right hand and right rib is where the pitch got him. The Brandon Mitchell pitch in the top of this inning. The 1-1 here, outside, ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike. Banks is the runner at first base. 8 steals this year. He's been caught twice. So 2 balls, 1 strike, the count with 1 out. So that's where Dean told him. I said, so Dean, it didn't get you where you didn't want to get. He goes, no, it didn't get me there. That's what he told me. 2 balls, 1 strike. 2-1, Oakland on the pitch, and that's high, ball 3. 3 balls and 1 strike. And I said, Dean, I really pumped you up. I said, you're a tough linebacker. You hung in there. I understand the game was delayed a little bit. I get it. And, He said, well, that's nice, but I was a linebacker 45 years ago. 3 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. 2-1 Oakland, bottom of the third. And the pitch to Marine, and he pops one up foul right side, strike 2. And the count's at 3 balls and 2 strikes. But anyway, that's where, Dean gave me the visual. He didn't show me his skin literally, but he said, just sort of pointed to his hand and the direction of his rib. And he said, yep, right hand, right rib. That's where it got me. Appreciate the update there, Dean. Thank you. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Banks at first, turn throw over. Martinez there to take the throw, and Banks back safely with a dime. Braylon Marine mentioned single to center in the first inning, and then he was caught stealing 2-4. Marine has hit safely coming into today, 15 of his last 17 games. So now 16 of his last 18. He's had a base hit, the 3-2, and that's low inside, ball 4. So Banks moves to second, Marine to first. And it's first and second in the bottom of the third inning with 1 out and a 2-1 advantage for the Oakland Ballers. And now here's the second baseman and Bobby Leday. He struck out swinging in the first inning. So now the tying run is second, possible go-ahead run to first. And now it's Leday. Mentioned struck out swinging in the first. He's due for a hit, hitless in his last 11 tries now. Outfield medium depth straight away, and the pitch to Bobby. Hit toward short. Leslie to his left. Flips to Stewart at second for 1, and on to Noah Martinez at first, not in time. Close play there. I think Leslie would have been better served just taking the ball to the bag himself. I think it cost maybe that split second with the toss to Stewart at second. Leslie's momentum was carrying him toward the second base bag. So Banks goes to third. It's a force out. Marine is forced out at second, 6-4. Leday is now 0 for 2. So that keeps the door unlocked here in the bottom of the third inning with a 2-1 advantage for the Oakland Ballers. And now it's Jose Gonzalez who bats. He struck out swinging in the first. Big hole in right center. And Reed Butts delivers as Leday goes. Pitch taken outside. Throw to second base. Leday is safe with a slide. Holding at third is Banks. Throw was taken by the shortstop Leslie. The count's at 1 ball and no strikes. Steal for Leday is his 22nd now. 22 for 24 in steal tries this year. Now a base hit to the outfield can give Yolo the lead as Gonzalez takes high from Butts. The count is 2 balls and no strikes to Jose Gonzalez. Again, a strikeout victim swinging in the first inning. So outfield well around to the left. Big hole in right center. And the 2-0 pitch Gonzalez takes. And that's outside, ball 3. And Oakland challenged that pitch, and it's been overturned to a strike. So the count's at 2 balls and 1 strike, and a 2-1 lead for the Oakland Ballers. Bottom half of the third inning. This is Doug Greenwald. You're listening to the Yolo High Wheelers on YouTube Live and on Flow Sports. So 2 balls and 1 strike the count. Again, a base hit to the outfield likely gives Yolo the lead. So Banks at third, Leday at second. Big hole in right center. Outfield well around to the left, the 2-1 pitch, and Gonzalez takes, and that's low and in, ball 3. So 3 balls and 1 strike with the designated hitter and Alejandro Figueiredo waiting on deck. So 3 balls and 1 strike the count. And Reed Butts kicks and delivers, and Gonzalez takes, blown away, ball 4. So Jose draws the walk. That loads him up now for Alejandro Figueiredo. Face Butts, who made his last appearance, I guess like everybody with Oakland, made their last appearance against Yolo. Butts did so last Sunday out of the bullpen in a 4-2 Yolo win. He worked an inning and a third. Ended up walking 1 and striking out 2 for Reed Butts. So Butts this year against Yolo. This is his, let's see here. Well, I lost track. He's faced them so many times I can't remember now. See, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is his 9th appearance now. 9th appearance against the Yolo High Wheelers in his second start. Butts earlier in the year did win the Pitcher of the Week. For Butts, who spent last season in this league with Rocky Mountain. A 2-1 lead for the Yolo High Wheel. I'm sorry, 2-1 lead for the Oakland Ballers. Bottom of the third inning, 2-1 Ballers. So now bases loaded, and Figueredo taking all the way. Literally stepped out of the box, but I don't know if he wanted to call time or not. The pitch went through, but it was a ball, so I guess Figueredo will say, all right, well, then that's fine. So 1 ball and no strikes. So Banks at third, Leday's at second, Gonzalez at first. And Butts in 2-out trouble, the 1-0. And that swung on and driven toward left center field. That's going to get down for a hit, and that's going to give Yolo the lead as Banks scores, Leday scores. Going first to third is Gonzalez, and Figueredo now a 9-game hitting streak, but more importantly, it's 3-2 Yolo in the bottom of the third. So Alejandro Figueredo, a 2-run single. And now the 8th man to bat in the inning is Eddie Neiman. So Figueredo now is a member of the High Wheelers, has 9 RBIs overall this year in the Pioneer League. When you factor his numbers with Billings, he has 32 runs batted in. So now it's Neiman, and Eddie takes high ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. So big 2-out hit there by Figueredo. So a 3-2 lead now for the High Wheelers. Neiman 0 for 1 here this afternoon. Outfield around to the left. And the pitch swung on, and Neiman lines this ball right field, base hit. Gonzalez scores. Up to second is Figueredo. As the right fielder Angar gets the ball in towards second. It is now 4-2 in favor of Yolo. So give Eddie Neiman an RBI. That's already his 10th and now just his 12th game with Yolo. Neiman also extends the hitting streak to 5 games. And he's now reached base safely in all 12 games he has played as a High Wheeler. So now a 4-2 Yolo lead, and now the 9th man to bat in the inning digs in. It's Braden Blackford, who struck out looking his last time. And he takes a strike on the inside corner, 0-1. Now Oakland's got to be careful here. Obviously, one swing of Blackford's bat could make it a 7-2 game. Right now it's at 4-2 Yolo. And how about yesterday? You recall Yolo had that 5-run second, all with 2 out. All the runs coming with 2 out. A rally that was started with 2 out, nobody on, as Blackford takes strike 2 on the outside corner, 0-2. How about all 4 runs in this inning? 3 of the 4 runs. 3 of the 4 runs in this inning have been with 2 out. De La Cruz will led this inning off with a double. He's on deck. No balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch, and Blackford takes in the dirt ball 1 from Reed Butts. 1 ball and 2 strikes. For Butts, this is his 3rd start against Yolo. His last start was also also started here on July 6th. That wasn't his last start, but he did start here July 6th. 1-2 on the way, strike 3 called outside corner. Blackford knew it, and he's rung up on strikes for the 2nd time this afternoon. And that's the 4th strikeout for Butts, but De La Cruz got it going with the double in his first pro at bat, and that leads to a 4-run inning for Yolo. So 4 runs, there were 4 hits, no errors, and there were 2 men left. We go to the 4th. It is 4-2 now. Yolo leading Oakland on YouTube Live and on Flow Sports. On we go to the top of the fourth inning. New ball game here. It's 4-2 Yolo. And Nick Adgar leads it off in the first pitch from Brandon Mitchell. This is up and away, ball one. 1 ball, no strikes. It's Adgar, Burkell, and then the top of the Oakland order for the center fielder and Peyton Harden. As Mitchell winds and the 1-0 on the way, and that is outside for a ball. So 2 balls and no strikes. 4 runs, 5 hits, and 1 error for the hometown High Wheelers. 2 4-0 for the visiting Ballers. So Mitchell, the short white sleeves, middle of the rubber, out of the windup delivers, and Adgar takes a strike on the inside corner. So the count's now at 2 balls and 1 strike to Adgar, who has been in the Pecos League. The kick on the 2-1, and Adgar swings and a tapper toward third near the bag, banks up with the ball and throws across the Neiman at first. And Adgar is out. Second time he is tapped out to the third baseman, Banks. 1 out. And now Brad Burkell will come to the plate. Face Brandon Mitchell. There's Mitchell. Long look in at the catcher, De La Cruz. Now out of the windup, and the pitch on the way, and that swung on. Tap foul over toward first, strike 1. No balls and a strike from Brandon Mitchell, who went to Elsick High School in Houston. Played baseball, football, and tennis for the Rams. The windup in the 0-1, and Burkell slaps this ball toward short. Charged and gloved by Marine. Throws to Neiman at first, and by an eyelash, Burkell is out. So 2 away now in the fourth inning. Top of the fourth, 4-2, Yolo leads Oakland. And now for the third time this afternoon, Oakland will go to the top of its order for the center fielder, Peyton Harden. He has what seems like his daily 2-hit game. 2 for 2, 2 singles and a run scored. Outfield medium depth and straight away. A 4-2 advantage for the Yolo High Wheelers. And the pitch on the way to Harden. And he bunts this one out in front of the plate. Grabbed on the grass by the catcher, De La Cruz, but is thrown on nearly in time to get the speedy Harden. So sort of Neiman at first, but unable to get Harden. So it's a bunt single for Harden. And he is now 3 for 3 this afternoon. And now this allows the possible tying run to come up, and Josh Leslie, who is 0 for 2. 4-2 Yolo. Top half of the fourth inning. So Harden, as I mentioned, now 3 for 3.